decaying decadence. I didn't go too hot for the sickly bit. You know, I didn't start doing all these ridiculous over-embellished arpeggios. But, I mean, I'd been playing violin very heavily. I'd been playing it even using feedback. I played a Fender Solid violin, which used to take people's heads off. And so it's like, what do we do with this? You know, it's like, and it made me play in a very sweet, almost sickly, a lot of vibrato. Because you've got to remember, I hadn't done classical music for ages since I left college. I went to college, you know, and so it had to kind of, we were going in this direction, and he just helped us put a, and then of course it ended up going on to the lyrics. Midge picked up on it, and I wasn't in the room when they were doing the lyrics. You know, we used to quite often kick everybody else out when we were doing our own bit, and you get these nervous eyes opening the door every few minutes. You know, like, is this turning into a hippie band? You know, and it's like, give me some space. So we used to give each other space, but go in there and annoy each other every now and again. So it didn't get too far away from what we were doing, you know.
Were you surprised at how big it was as a single?
Completely surprised. And in fact, it's really hard for me to even go back now and remember what was going on at the time. Because I was actually one of the persons in the band that was getting really upset about it being released at all. I suddenly decided that I didn't want it ridiculed or something. So, I mean, it shows how wrong I was, doesn't it? I was incredibly surprised, you know.
And what about the video? How did that come about?
That was, we were talking to Russell Malkai was the guy that was up for doing the video at the time. And again, he just tuned into what it had, an angle, didn't it? You know, which is, let's face it, it's a video maker's producer's dream, and he really did an excellent job on it. You know.
Did you shoot the video?
We shot it at a real mixture. The stairs at the end was at Kilburn, the old broken down Kilburn place. You know, just on Kilburn High Road. We shot it some swanky apartments, those other bits, I can't remember where that was, down near Harrods or somewhere. And the horse bit, that was in front of the bit in Covent Garden, you know, because one of the clubs after the Blitz was actually moved to just there. And then the rest was in Vienna.
And I've seen the top. Going through
Oh, in the graveyard in Vienna, that was a buzz. To go to all those like Beethoven and Brahms and stuff. It's a buzz for us, you know. We just flew over on this little plane. It's great.
I've been looking through lots of archives and and I saw an interesting performance of that song on Top of the Pops.
Yeah.
Midge wearing a cap and a chain.
Oh, sorry, I thought you said somewhere. I thought you were going to say some other band. It's like, oh yeah.
Of Midge wearing like a cap and a chain. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah.
The imagery. What was going on there?
Was that on Top of the Pops? Oh, that was yeah. We did a gig at the end of, I think that might have been at the end of '81, when it was just to show the top of the Christmas one, was it? I think it was, yeah. And they drag out everybody at the end of the year to do a Christmas Top of the Pops. And we'd just done a gig at the London Coliseum, the Opera House place, and Chris had got dressed up in all this kinky leather gear, and Midge was there with the kilt and everything. We were just dressing up and larking around, you know. And yeah, I remember Midge nicking that gear for that performance for the Top of the Pops.
What about how upset were you that it never quite made it to number one?
Upset-ish. I was trying not to get too involved in it, you know. It was like, it seemed strange. I was pleased to be there because I was getting very involved in all that and a bit jealous in 1979, you know, seeing Gary Newman. I mean, Gary wanted me to join his band, and he showed me all the early demos, like of Cars, and I was, you know, to see Cars suddenly in American. I think the album went to #1 in America, and here it was double #1 here. So if you're not careful, you can get really into all this, you know. So I was disappointed, but I was trying to stop myself from getting too intense about it, the competitivity of it. And I was just pleased that we'd got some success. I'm a bloody liar. No, I probably was really act off at the time.
And do you remember what held you off at #1?
Yeah, it was that Joe Dolce thing, yeah.
Is that,
Well, that, I mean, that just about sums it up, doesn't it? I mean, you've got to have a sense of humour, haven't you? You know, I mean, it's not about your quality of music just because you didn't get to number one. It's just, it's just a laugh, the singles chart, isn't it? You know, something comes along. I mean, I thought it was dead funny, that "Shut Up Your Face," you know. Great chorus. I wish we'd come up with it. I mean, it just puts it in, it makes you, puts it all in perspective, doesn't it?
sure. After that, obviously, big success. Got the deal at Chrysalis. Things started looking up. What was going on there? Tell us a little bit about. Again, the chronology is very difficult for people to keep in mind what you're doing when.
Well, what happened, you see, when we did Vienna, when we wrote Vienna, sorry, that was in early 1980. Yeah, we got the deal. We put Vienna and Visage out later on that year, at the usual time, like September time, and they did kind of okay. Chrysalis whacked it straight up to number 4.